As I turn onto Dickinson Drive, excited to start the day, I look at my dashboard clock. It was 7:45. I pulled into the teacher's lot, grabbed for my pile of books, and headed to the school's main entrance. I got right to work. Our reading specialist was coming that day, and I wanted to make sure that everything was perfect for her visit. As the buses arrived and the students filed into the classroom, I was ready for the day. At 9:10, like clockwork, the announcements came over the PA system. Only one student was missing that day, a boy away skiing with his family. My students settled into their morning work until I played the song to signal morning message. Good morning, fantastic friends. Good morning, Miss Roig. That day, we talked about the visit from our reading specialist and how important it was to impress her with our reading skills. Let's get excited about today. You're going to shine. It was 9:30, 15 minutes before the big test. The students were eager to read, excited to show off their reading skills. But we never got that far. December 14th, 2012, 11 days before Christmas. 20 students and 6 teachers lost their lives. The Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre was the worst mass murder of school children in the United States since 1927. Kaitlin Roig-Debellis was a first grade teacher at Sandy Hook at the time of the shooting. Listen as she shares her experience and shows how she ends up choosing hope by Kaitlin Roig-Debellis. First comes the initial blast of gunfire, then the sound of shattering glass. My hair stands up on my arms. I know right away what is happening. Columbine is happening in a place that we called Pleasantville. How can this be? Someone is shooting their way into our perfect school. My classroom is the first one in the building. If we have any chance of living, we have to find a hiding place, fast. Thank God for the dark blue piece of construction paper I taped on the window door months ago and forgot to take down. I look around the classroom. Where can we hide? Where can we hide? There's only one place, the bathroom. A tiny, tiny first grade size lavatory with only a toilet and a toilet paper dispenser in there. The size of about 2 first grade desks pushed together, maybe 3 feet by 4 feet. How in God's name am I gonna fit 16 of us in there? My students don't seem to understand what's happening. They look up at me with pleading eyes. Into the bathroom, now. At first, they protest. Bathroom, now. They understand that the teacher means business. I rush them towards the back of the classroom. Gunshots go off outside. Hurry, I say, hurry. There's no time. We shove into the bathroom, and when there isn't a millimeter of space left, I begin hoisting students and piling them inside. One by one, I pile 1 student, and then 2, and then 3 on top of the toilet. And I take my littlest girl and I hoist her on top of the toilet paper dispenser. I reach to shut the door, but the door isn't there. Oh my God. In my rush, I didn't even realize the door opens into the bathroom. We are blocking it with our bodies. I feel myself begin to panic. Here we are, trapped in a bathroom with a madman bearing down on us, and the door that is supposed to obscure us is obstructed by us and can't close. But I cannot afford to lose my composure. If I panic, they'll all panic, and we'll be dead. One by one, I pick up the students blocking the door and move them behind it until I am finally able to push it closed. Now, we have to be absolutely quiet. We can't say a word. I can't help but wonder if by trapping us in this bathroom, I've just sentenced us all to certain death. My fashionista begins to cry. I cup her face in my hands and look into her teary eyes. We're going to be okay. I promise. I never make promises I can't keep, but this is a matter of life and death. Miss Roig, says my student who's been talking about the holiday for months. The boy who's sitting on top of the toilet is shaking so hard that he flushes. We all hold our breath. I look at his face, and it says it all. I'm sorry, and I'm scared, and I don't know what to do. I must reassure them, even if I don't believe my own words. We are going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. I promise. I need you all to know that I love you very much. Anyone who believes in the power of prayer needs to pray right now. And anyone who doesn't needs to think really happy thoughts. I can't help but bear to think that this is how their last moments will be spent, in fear. I put my hands together and start to pray. It's been quiet for a while now. Eerily quiet. Feels like just my students and me are left in the school. If the good guys were coming, they would be here by now, wouldn't they? Why is it so deathly quiet? A knock comes at the door. Who is it?
We're here to help. I'll knock the door.
The door pushes in. I see an army of green uniforms. A SWAT team is in my classroom. They lead us out of the bathroom. I've never been so happy to see anyone in my entire life. They look surprised to see us. I think they expected to see one student, not a teacher and her entire class. Our heroes lead us outside of the classroom in the opposite direction of the bodies in the hallway and the blood-stained floor. Soon enough, my students and I learn what really happened that day. I hear the horrifying details of what happened outside my classroom from others. I am horrified to hear that the principal and the school psychologist were shot to death outside my classroom by the shooter as they attempted to tackle him onto his way into the school. He then headed up the hallway 2 doors away from mine, where he found a guest teacher and a behavior therapist huddled protectively around their students. He sprayed them with bullets, killing all but one little girl who had the wherewithal to play dead. He then headed back down the hallway to the first grade classroom 1 door away from mine. From what I was told, he arrived at the door just as the teacher was shutting it. Mercilessly, he killed her and then fatally shot the students and the behavior therapist huddled under the desk. The behavior therapist was found with an autistic child cradled in her arms. When the police began to arrive, the rampage stopped when the shooter shot himself in the head and lay dead on the classroom floor. That was the classroom that adjoined ours. He still had 253 rounds of live ammunition on his body. 6 of my colleagues and 20 first graders, 6 and 7-year-olds who were still learning how to tell time, were murdered that morning. By the grace of God, my students and I made it out alive. Not a day goes by that I don't think about that it could have been us that didn't make it out of the school that day. Now, I won't say the shooter's name. I never have. The only names that need to be memorialized are the students and the educators' lives whose he took. There's no moving on from what happened at Sandy Hook. But I choose to move forward for myself and for the people I love and care for. My name is Kaitlin Roig-Debellis, and this is my story. Thank you.